Yes.
In other news, Ty Jerome missed another game last night as the Cavaliers beat the Knicks. He's missed 3 in a row, listed with knee tendinitis. Before the game, Kenny was asked for an update on Ty Jerome. He said, we're being cautious. If it was a playoff game, Ty could probably play, but we are deciding to be cautious, hold him out until he's ready. My question to you guys is, and Tyvis, I want to start with you. For a guy like Ty Jerome, who is a bit of a rhythm player, how much do you think he needs to play before the playoffs to find that rhythm that had elevated him into the conversation of Sixth Man of the Year? Or would you take the complete cautious approach and basically shut him down before the Cavs playoff run begins?
That is absolutely not happening. Nobody on this team deserves – maybe Donovan. Donovan's the only one that I was like, all right, we can shut you down because I know what you're going to do in the postseason. The rest of y'all ain't did a thing in the postseason, so I need y'all to be clicking on all cylinders. For some odd reason, and it's not just them, it's all the Cleveland sports teams right now. They have a problem with rest. You give them some time off, they don't come back fresh and ready to go. It takes them.
What is that based on?
Oh, I don't know. The Cavs watching the Browns with Joe Flacco. Wasn't it? We don't need to let Joe Flacco and the Browns play against Cincinnati. We need to give them some time off, and they stunk it up.
So you think that if they had not rested him, he would have played great?
They'd be fine. Messed up the chemistry, yes.
All right.
So with that being said, Ty Jerome is the guy that if he's a spark like that, I feel like because there are some games he's a huge spark, and then there are some games that he does just okay. Think that how many games left in the season? 8, 7, 8?
I think it's 7 games.
7? Out of those 7 games, I need to see him at least 4.
Jason.
They have 6 games. My bad. 6 games left.
6 games left. Ty Jerome's banged
4.
up. You shutting him down to the playoffs, or you playing him?
No, I play him, but he only needs a game or 2.
4.
Yeah, 4 is crazy.
4.
He didn't need that many.
By the way,
you got to get his win back
in the first round of the playoffs, they're going to play a team that's
much.
He's been out for like 3 games.
I would not play Ty Jerome at all, and here's why.
And what you say?
I would not play him at all till the playoffs, because in the first round of the playoffs, you are playing a bad basketball team.
You might be playing Orlando.
Orlando's a bad basketball team. They're under 500.
Beat you the last time.
Irrelevant.
And at home.
Irrelevant.
Just
Cavs
saying.
kicked the Knicks' ass in the regular season 2 years ago. How'd that turn out in the playoffs? It's irrelevant. The Cavs will not lose to Orlando. If the Cavs lose to Orlando, Mike, because Ty Jerome is rusty, then they were a fraud the entire season. So I am not playing Ty Jerome until the playoffs, and I'll let him, knock off the rust against Orlando. It's that simple.
Good luck.
That his health is more important than meaningless games at the end of the year.
You know when he can get healthy?
Orlando's a bad basketball team. They will beat them in 4 or 5 games, or they're not worthy.
His health is so important that once they lose in the first round, because he took some time, he get all the rest.
So you think they're going to lose to Orlando, who we don't even know they'll play Orlando, but you think they're going to lose to Orlando because Ty Jerome didn't play in the last 2 weeks of the regular season?
It's possible.
You think so? What are the odds that that's the reason they lose?
Like 2%.
So for 2%, you're going to put a guy in risk when he's got a knee issue.
He ain't got no knee. He got tendinitis.
I would not rest him. I would not sit him the rest of the way.
Thank you.
I don't think he wants to sit the rest of the way. But I'd give him at least another game or 2 off.
At least. Go ahead, Mike.
I want to say this as the second part of the question because Tyvis kind of got into it, but for the Cavs to win it all, their depth has been one of their biggest strengths all season. We've talked about their playoff rotation, 8, 9. Kenny said the other day he wants to play 10. We'll see if that becomes to reality. But we all agree that Ty Jerome is in that top 8 if they go to an 8-man rotation. Jason, how important is Ty Jerome to the Cavs? He's obviously not Donovan and Darius, but having a guy to bring off the bench that has been as productive as Ty's been this season, how important is that to their championship chances?
That's hard to answer for me because he's very important to what they do. But he's not one of your top 4 options. As good as he's been, you still, if the game's on the line, there's a lot of guys you put the ball in his hands above him. I know it sounds like blasphemy to say because everybody loves the guy, and rightfully so. He's having a phenomenal year. But who do you want taking the last shot of the game, Darius or Ty Jerome? Darius.
Pretty simple.
Donovan or Ty Jerome? Donovan. I'd want Evan Mobley over Ty Jerome.
100%.
So I'd actually probably put Ty 4th on that list, which is unbelievable.
Ahead of DeAndre Hunter?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'd still take Hunter.
That's how much confidence I have.
Probably
in Ty
take Ty Jerome. I'm not gonna lie to you. Depending on what's the situation. Yeah.
If you put the ball in his hands and tell him go make us a basket, I'd put it in Ty over DeAndre Hunter. If it's a corner three, if it's an open look for a corner three, it's probably DeAndre Hunter. But can they win a championship without Ty Jerome? Yeah. Ty Jerome is not the difference to them winning or losing a championship. But I don't want to say that and diminish
I think it is because he's such a. The bench plays a big part in this.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Championship. Yes, it does.
The longer you go, they have nobody else who can fill his minutes. I mean, it's an important, crucial piece.
You tell me.
It's an important, crucial piece.
It is. Who you got? Because when you need Darius or
Donovan
to sit down for just
I think what
3
Jason's
minutes.
saying. Let's see if I can speak for you. Tell me if I'm correct. If you look at a pie of 0 to 100, and all the things that go into winning a championship, without Ty Jerome, their number would go down a little bit, but not enough that it would make the difference between them winning or losing ultimately.
Yeah, that's
that
probably
fair?
Yeah, that's probably close.
Okay.
But I don't want to diminish his importance because he's become crucial to what they do. But if Donovan goes down tomorrow,
Season over.
how confident are you going to be that this team can win a championship? If Evan Mobley goes down, how confident are you going to be? If Darius goes down, how confident are you going to be?
With Ty Jerome stepping in, a lot of people would still be like.
I don't think they
would
could
not
win a
be in that
championship with
boat.
any of those.
A lot of people would feel like if Darius went down, they could still at least make some.
I think we know from other factors that a lot of people are dumb.
I
And we
agree.
know a lot of people are
I'm
dumb.
saying I don't say I agree with that. I'm just saying there's a lot of
And-
fans that think Ty Jerome would be fine.
And to his credit, Ty has answered the call every time because everybody thought this was going to run out, this is going to run out, this is going to run out, this isn't going to last. And he sustained it all year long. Well, now he's got to do it in the playoffs. And maybe he will, but the playoffs are a different animal.
Have we seen Darius do it in the playoffs?
Yeah, he's had some really big playoff games. Against the Knicks, I know they lost the series, but he had one game, I think, in particular, where he had a really good game.
Just the one
And
that
by the way,
I
not
was
only
defending him that year.
in that scenario, which is crazy, that anybody would think it would be no big deal to have Darius out. It was crazy. But in that scenario, so now Ty Jerome's playing all of Darius' minutes. Well, who's playing Ty Jerome's minutes? Because there's two downgrades.
Craig Porter Jr.
Okay, well, those are two significant downgrades, in my opinion.
Well, it sounds crazy to hear you say that because I'm sitting here telling you that he's important and y'all make it.
No, he is
He didn't
important.
say it's not
He is
important.
important. He is important. He's not the difference in winning or losing a championship.
If you don't have his minutes and what he does, and you replace that with Craig Porter Jr., no disrespect to Craig Porter Jr.
Well, you are disrespectful.
You know what?
Great basketball.
You know what I'll
player.
give you? You know what? I'll meet you halfway. Ty Jerome very well could be the difference in winning or losing a finals game. He's not going to be the difference in winning or losing a finals series. How's that? He could win you a game.
But
he
one
could
game
absolutely
could make the difference in the series.
It
though.
could.
Give me two, and we'll call it even.
Ty could absolutely
He is
be
not-
the difference in winning or losing an
He is a
NBA finals
meaningful
game.
piece to what they do.
And
They
think about how
want
far
all
we've-
hands on deck.
Think about how far we've come from October.
Yeah.
When I was saying, you just cut Ty Jerome and get under the cap.
Right.
Yeah, you did
So
say
now we're saying that he could be the difference in winning or losing. At least I will say.
Yeah.
to the point where Bull don't even
A
want him to
finals
sign
game.
a max deal with somebody else.
He should. He'd be smart to stay with the Cavs.
The one thing with
Still
Ty,
filthy rich.
Leave the money on the table.
Yes.
the one thing with Ty and why his role on this Cavs team is so, it is crucial. Like I genuinely believe that his role is crucial because after Donovan and Darius, which those two are on the court for like 47 out of 48 minutes in a game. One of those two is always out there. Ty gives you that secondary playmaker and creator that can give those guys rest within their stints because he can play the point. You can run offense through Ty. He runs the pick and roll as efficiently as almost any person in the NBA on a per possession basis. His PER numbers, his per 36, all that stuff is incredible. And in a playoff series, and Jason, I can't believe we have reached this point because you and I have talked about at length when you see Ty play, he plays in slow motion in a way that you don't think would work, but he keeps getting to his spots. You can run a pick and roll with Ty with 8 seconds on the shot clock left after a good defensive possession and expect Ty to get you a good shot. If you take Ty out of the equation, those minutes are being replaced by Sam Merrill and Okoro. I don't think Craig Porter Jr. is in the rotation.
No.
Those two guys have just totally different skill sets, and
Yeah.
they can't replicate that late shot clock shot creation in the same way Ty Jerome
Well, the
can.
good news is we've talked about this for 10 minutes, and it doesn't seem like there's any chance of it happening, so it really doesn't matter. as of now, Ty Jerome.
But I
mean, Coach said he could play if it was the playoffs. So, and we still got 2 weeks before they play.
I do want to hear how many games you think he should play McNuggets out of the last 6.
I'd play 1 or 2. I think you should get him at least a little run before
Yes.
the playoffs start. But
I'll meet y'all halfway at 3.
That's not
0.
You need to stop that.
Ty, in their last 3 games, there's a back-to-back, so he's not going to play a back-to-back.
No, I ain't putting him.
I'd play him at Indiana, sit him against the Knicks, then play him home against
Mike,
Indiana.
what is the downside to him waiting till the playoffs to play?
If he wants a game or 2 to get his legs back under him, to feel how his knee feels on certain moves, Ty does that deceleration move.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. If he feels better and he wants to play, yeah, I'm with you. But let's say in theory they felt like they had to rest him into the playoffs. I just don't think it's that big a deal.
Well, if you have to, you have to.
Right,
but I don't
yeah.
think that's where they're at.
Okay, then it's nothing to worry about.
I don't think anybody's going to play that last game. I could be wrong.
Right. It wouldn't make sense.
I think
You're gonna have
they'll
nothing to play
sit.
for there.
I mean, Jarrett will probably play. Jarrett will probably do
2 minutes.
not even.
Oh.
Take the opening tip,
Yeah.
foul.
Nah, you know Jarrett, we know him too well. He's going to play 15, 16.
Yeah, he
It'll
don't
be
like to do
a short stint, but he's going to get 1 or 2 real stints.
I think the compromise is Jarrett. You can play, but we're getting you out.
Yeah.
And he'll get his 82.
Take the opening.
It'll be a very meaningful 82nd game.
Can I give you guys one little Jarrett
Draymond
Allen nugget real
Green
quick
do
before we
that?
move on?
Yeah.
Tristan did that.
One little last Jarrett Allen nugget. Jason, were you in his press conference recently in the locker room when Jarrett came to the podium?
I was in the locker room.
So Jarrett was asked, and I forget who asked the question, so I apologize for not giving them credit, but they asked, you've been closing games recently. A month ago, you weren't necessarily in the closing lineup. How tough has it been not knowing exactly what your role is? And Jarrett, let me remind you guys about Jarrett Allen, was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, was a first-round pick, has been an all-star in this league, and could have very well been an all-star again this season. His response, and I'm paraphrasing, was, I trust Kenny to make the best decision for this team to win. If that
Great
includes me in the closing 5, I'm excited. If that includes DeAndre or someone else and me on the bench, as long as we win, I'm happy.
Great
And frankly, if we lose, as long as I have trust in the coach that he's putting us in the best position, so be it.
There you go.
So then I asked him afterwards, I said, Jarrett, look at your resume. How do you have no ego? And he goes, all I care about is winning. All I want to do is win.
and play 82 games.
And play 82 games, yes. But
No, it's a great answer.
So
he's he's wired differently in the best way possible. You need
Why
more
is
guys on a
he-
team like that.
Why is he praised, but Miles is not?
What are you
Miles-
talking about?
Like he said, he just want to win. Everybody, but then people get mad at Miles for taking money.
I don't understand.
I don't understand the correlation.
Like
Those are opposite things.
No, because he's such a great guy and all this, but like people was like criticizing Miles. Like I don't understand.
Because Miles came out and told the truth for 2 months about everything that's wrong with the organization.
Well,
And then they made him the highest paid non-quarterback ever. He's like, yeah, you know what? It's not so bad.
Yeah. And then he pretended that it wasn't, about the money when it was, essentially.
That's all.
I don't.
Hey,
it
I'm-
was
who cares?
not about the money.
What's
Come
that?
on. Come on. You can't even say it with a straight face.
wasn't.
No, here's what it was. He knew that the Browns were serious about not trading him. So he said to himself, well, I might as well get as much money as I can, right? I mean, I'm sure he still would want to be traded now.
You think?
Of course he would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course he would. But he realized the Browns were serious about not trading him. And he said, I might as
he
well get
got
the money.
leverage now.
He's got all leverage.
Yeah.
The Browns bent over and
He
gave him
went
the
from
leverage.
grab
no
their
leverage.
ankles.
He went from no leverage to all leverage.
Will he finish his career as a Brown?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he will.